to my dear students in this training course. I'm back with another interesting part for motion graphic with PowerPoint. In this video, we are going to see how can we make this, and my aim from teaching motion graphic with PowerPoint is that you practice all the points that you have learned here. In order to learn these points and can improve your creativity by the using of these simple tools and be able to meet your needs. Well, without further ado, we start teaching this interesting work. I exit from slideshow mode and I will explain the overview of the work and about the animations and graphic elements here. Then I will create a new slide, then I will make it again from the beginning. Explanations of making this work is divided into two categories. First one is graphic element and the second was in animation, that I have prepared the patterns for you in 3 files: plain, heart, and a marriage ring here. I also opened a PowerPoint file of it here, and I have prepared a PowerPoint file that contains different hearts, also the different form of the rings, and also the plane. To do this, we also need some clouds that you can use from the file that I have prepared and presented for you in previous part for you. You can choose the one you like from here and add it to your work. We add these clouds in the top of the slide that you can do the same. We have a plane and some hearts that can be added here, and I put a marriage ring here. Then you can see the illusions of the plane that you can make it with PowerPoint. That I will explain for you about the way of making that. Well, let me explain about the animation while we are making this work. I create a new PowerPoint file and I change the layout of the slide to blank, and in the continuation then I add the pattern in the slide with this layout, and then I will explain how to make the illusion of the plane. Then in the continuation we have the animations. Now I add the patterns that we need to the slide. Before adding them, we should change the background color of this slide. I told you about this previously. We have a right click on the slide and select format background option from solid fill. We use color section and we can choose a color. We can use more color in custom section, and we can make the color that we have selected darker or lighter to get the color that we want. The background color of the slide is ready. Now I will add the graphical patterns here. I added the patterns that I needed in the slide. I put some clothes in the slide, I grouped them, and then I put the plane in the center of the slide. And then I put a ring first in the center of the slide to put the hearts in the right place, because I want at the end the hearts appear around the ring. So to put them in the right place, first I put the ring in the center, and then I added the hearts around it, but in the beginning the place of ring should be out of the slide. After adding hearts by the help of the shift key, I put the ring out of the slide. And how we can make the emissions of the plane. We can use the PowerPoint shapes and add a rounded corner, and we can add a thin rectangle here in this way. We select no as an outline, and we give a white color for that. And in the shape effect, we click on soft edge and then soft edge option in order to give fade effect around the shape from an opened window. You can use the ready-made patterns here, and by the help of the size option you can increase and decrease the level of fade. I zoom in for you to understand the changes. I think this fade would be okay for our shape, but to sharpen the beginning and end of these emissions, we can have a right click on the shape and select edit point option. And in this way, the points of the shape will be appear for us. Now we should select the central point and have a right click on them, then click on the delete point. We do the same for the last point, and by deleting them, our shape gets sharper. We do the same for the other side of the shape. I select the central point and delete it to make the emission shape sharper. Well, we have the emission shape. We put it in its own place and make a copy of it, and pay attention that you shouldn't group them. Well, the information about adding graphical shapes in the slide is done, and now the second part is adding animation to the shapes. So I open the animations tab and animation pane to be aware of the animations that we are giving them to the shapes. Before giving animations, let's see the output of the work to recall the movement of the shapes and then add animations to the shapes. As you see, first of all, the plane enters to the slide, then it exits from slide with the emissions that we made with each other, then the marriage ring enters to the slide, and then the hearts appears around it, and there are a group of clothes that are moving in the slide. Well, now we want to add these animations to our work with the help of the features that are available in the Animations tab. First, we select the A-plane, and we can use flying for the beginning, and select from left as the amount of effect option that it enters to the slide from the left slide. And regulate with previous for the start option, and I consider 25 hundredths of a second as the amount of delay. And for the emissions, we can use the wipe option from the right side and regulate with previous for the start option. The duration is fine, and the half a second is okay for delay. We do the same for the next emission. Wipe animation from effect option, we select from right and regulate with previous for the start option, and the delay and the duration option are okay. Well, now we should exit the airplane and the emission by the help of the pass animation, and because we want to add the second animation to the airplane, we select the airplane, and we must use the animation option. We consider more option more motion pass and click on the right motion, and then click on OK, and regulate after previous for the start option with the duration of 2 and delay of 0. And here we should regulate a setting that is really important setting. We want the airplane be out of the slide by using the shift key. I put it to outside of the slide. In order to move the red spot, you can use the shift key. Now, we should select the emissions one by one, and then with pass animation from right side, and regulate with previous for the start option with duration of 2 and delay of 1/10 of a second will be enough. And regulate the settings for the final emissions. I regulated it in a way that the emissions be out of the slide. I do the same for the second emission. I select the second emission, and from Add Animation section, More Motion Pass, I select right option and regulate with previous for the start option and add it to outside of the slide. This is an important point, and pay attention to do that. Now it's time to give animation to the marriage ring. We selected it, and from Add Animation and More Motion Pass section, we select right option for it and regulate with previous for the start option, and the delay of 2/10 of a second would be okay for it. And then we regulate the place of the ring in this way in its place. Do this by the help of the shift key. But we should add some animations to these hearts that I zoom in the shape, and now you can add a floating animation to this heart. That my recommendation to you is a float in animation for the hearts that I select them one by one, and do that once I explain the process. Then I repeat it for the rest. We can regulate with previous for the start option. You can give any amount for duration and delay. There is a point that makes the work interesting is that in the effect options section and timing. In the repeat section, select until end of slide and then click on OK, because it makes your work interesting. Now I repeat this animation to the rest of the hearts, and I zoom in order to see it fully. Well, adding animations to the heart is over, and giving animations to clothes is left. That I select the group of the clothes, and by the help of entrance animation of fade and with regulation of with previous for the start option, with duration of half a second and with delay of 25 thousandths of a second to do this, and we should give another animation animation to these clothes that have a movement in the slide. I do this by the help of the pass animation to the right and regulate. Wait press for the start option and to move this set of clothes on the slide at the right speed, we consider 14 seconds for the duration and half a second for delay. And for this animation, we should regulate the end spot, that I take the red spot and put it outside of the slide. And another thing that you can do in the effect option and make your work interesting is to activate the tick for the auto reverse option, that your clothes move back and forth in the timing part. And repeat section, you can select until end of slide option, then click on OK. Well, adding animation to the shapes of this slide is over. Let's see the results with each other to see what have we done. Well, a setting that we can do to better our work is that select the airplane and have a right click on it and select bring to front option. Let's see the result again. This is the result of this work, and hope you find this education from the motion graphic with PowerPoint useful and like it, and use the points that you have learned in other projects. Practice this one, and I gave the graphical shapes not to have a limitation for practicing. Hope to use this education. Thank you for accompanying me to this video. Goodbye until the next tutorial video.